Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Raven is here, and welcome back to my channel. Valentine's Day occurs every February 14th, which is today. And also, as of today, it falls on a Wednesday. Across the U.S. and in other places around the world, candy, flowers, and gifts are exchanged between loved ones, all in the name of Saint Valentine. But who is Saint Valentine? Where did the traditions of Valentine's Day come from? Let's dive on into the history and legends, shall we? Let us dive on into the legend of Saint Valentine. Where did Valentine's Day originate from? The history of the holiday and the story of its patron saint is shrouded in mystery. We do know that February has long been celebrated as a month of romance, and that St. Valentine's Day as we know it today contains vestiges of both Christian and ancient Roman tradition. Vestiges. But who was Saint Valentine, and how did he become associated with this ancient rite? The Catholic Church recognizes at least 3 different saints named Valentine or Valentinus, all of whom were martyred. One legend contends that Valentine was a priest who served during the 3rd century in Rome, when Emperor Claudius II decided that single men made better soldiers than those with wives and families. He outlawed marriage for young men. Valentine realized the injustice of this decree, defied Claudius, and continued to perform marriages for young lovers in secret. When Valentine's actions were discovered, Claudius ordered that he be put to death. Still, others insist that it was Saint Valentine of Terni, a bishop, who was the true namesake of the holiday. He too was beheaded by Claudius II outside of Rome. Other stories suggest that Valentine or Valentine may have been killed for attempting to help Christians escape harsh Roman prisons, where they were often beaten and tortured. According to one legend, an imprisoned Valentine actually sent the first quote-unquote Valentine greeting himself after he fell in love with a young girl, possibly his jailer's daughter, who visited him during his confinement. Before his passing, it is alleged that he wrote her a letter signed "From your Valentine" or Valentine, an expression that is still used today. Although the truth behind the Valentine legend are murky, the stories all emphasize his appeal as a sympathetic, heroic, and most importantly, romantic figure. By the Middle Ages, perhaps thanks to his reputation, Valentine or Valentine would become one of the more popular saints in England and France. And also, there is a pagan origin story as well. So let's go ahead and get into that. Well, some believe that Valentine's Day is celebrated in the middle of February to commemorate the anniversary of Valentine's death, clash, or burial, which probably occurred around AD 270. Others claim that the Christian Church may have decided to place St. Valentine's feast day in the middle of February in an effort to Christianize the pagan celebration of Lupercalia. If I pronounced some of these wrong, I apologize. Celebrate the idea at the Ides of February or February 15th. Lupercalia was a fertility festival dedicated to Faunus, the Roman god of agriculture, as well as to Roman founders of Romulus and Remus. To begin the festival, members of the Luperci, an order of Roman priests, would gather at a sacred cave where the infants Romulus and Remus, the founders of Rome, were believed to have been cared for by a she-wolf or lupa. The priests would sacrifice a goat for fertility and a dog for purification. They would then strip the goat's hide into strips, dig them into the sacrificial blood, and take to the streets, gently slapping both women and crop fields with the goat hide. Far from being fearful, Roman women welcomed the touch of the hides because it was believed to make them more fertile in the coming year. Later in the day, according to legend, all the young women in the city would place their names in a big urn. The city's bachelors would each choose a name and become paired for the year with his chosen woman. These matches often ended in marriage. Valentine's Day meaning a day of romance and love. Lupercalia survived the initial rise of Christianity but was outlawed. It was as it was deemed unchristian-like at the end of the 5th century when Pope Gelasius declared February 14th Saint Valentine's Day. It was not until much later, however, that the day became definitively associated with love. During the Middle Ages, it was commonly believed in France and England that February 14th was the beginning of birds' mating season, which added to the idea that the middle of Valentine's Day should be a day for romance. The English poet Geoffrey Chaucer was the first to record St. Valentine's Day as a day of romance celebration. In his 1375 poem, Parliament of Fowls, writing, "For this was sent on St. Valentine's Day, when every fowl cometh there to choose his mate." Valentine greetings are popular as far back as the Middle Ages. The written Valentines didn't begin to appear until after 1400. The oldest known Valentine still in existence today was a poem written in 1415 by Charles, Duke of Orleans, to his wife while he was imprisoned in the Tower of London, following his capture at Battle of Agincourt. The greeting is now part of the manuscript collection of the British Library in London, England. Several years later, it is believed that King Henry V hired a writer named John Lydgate to compose a Valentine note to Catherine of Valois. Now, let's get into who is Cupid. Cupid is often portrayed on Valentine's Day cards as a naked cherub launching arrows of love at unsuspecting lovers. But the Roman god Cupid has his roots in Greek mythology as a Greek god of love, Eros. Accounts of his birth vary. Some say he is a son of Nyx and Erebus. Others of Aphrodite and Ares. Still others suggest he is a son of Iris and Zephyrus, or even Aphrodite and Zeus, who would have been both his father and grandfather. According to the Greek archaic poets, Eros was handsome and mortal, played with the emotions of gods and men, using golden arrows to incite love and lead in ones to sow aversion. It was until the Hellenistic period that he began to be portrayed as a mischievous, chubby child he'd become on Valentine's Day. In America, they began exchanging handmade valentines in the early 1700s. In the 1840s, Esther Howland began selling the first mass-produced valentine in America. Howland, known as the Mother of the Valentine, made elaborate creations with real lace, ribbons, and colorful pictures known as quote-unquote scrap. Today, according to Hallmark, an estimated 145 million Valentine's Day cards are sent each year, making Valentine's Day the second largest card-sending holiday of the year. More are sent on Christmas. What do you all think? I do apologize if I butchered some of the words. Some of them are a little difficult for me. But I think learning the history of where Valentine's came from is very interesting. I love reading about stuff like that. If you guys have any suggestions or ideas as to, videos like this where I could do this again, maybe I can make a history playlist, that would be awesome. Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a happy Valentine's Day and stay safe. Bye-bye.